Aloha, Aina, good afternoon. While we're waiting for others to get in and get settled, now's a great time to grab anything that you need to get comfortable. Perhaps that's a glass of water or a cup of iced tea. Also, I am going to smudge to start off our Culture in Aina live post this afternoon. Excuse me, itchy nose. If you have items at home with you and you would like to smudge with me, it's a good time to grab those items as well as we begin to ignite the healing within. Aloha, Aina. Good afternoon. My name is Malia, and I'm a community healer at the HIR Wellness Institute. We are a non-profit organization that focuses on the mental health and wellness of our relatives of Turtle Island, as well as other Indigenous and underserved communities, and also victims of crime. You can join me here on Thursdays at 4 p.m. where we can focus on our culture and we can focus on things about our environment and nature that can help us connect to ourselves, to our ancestors, and do this in a way to honor our traditions, our customs, our ancestry, and also as a way to practice self-care and wellness. Good afternoon, Domini. So good to see you there. And for all of our relatives out there, I want to say to you, welcome. This is a great place, an open discussion, a safe place for you to be able to comment, ask questions, and we can dig into things, sometimes in the dirt, sometimes it's in the culture. And I want to start by asking how everybody is. If you care to comment, I am doing well today, but to be honest, usually at around 4 p.m. is when I start getting that midday slump. I get a little bit tired. So I have my pick-me-up here with me that I'll share with you in just a moment. It's completely natural. And also, if you're just jumping on the video, I did smudge just now using some of our medicines here, such as cedar. You can see bits of cedar in here, and sage as well. And I'm not sure what else is in here. That's all I think I'm seeing. So the other thing I'm wanting you to share, if you are interested or if you would like to share, is your ancestry. Now, regardless of what color of the rainbow you are from, you are absolutely welcome to share your ancestry. You can say where you're from if you like. If you're of mixed ancestry, you're more than welcome to state all of those places of origin for which your ancestors hail. For me, I do identify as a native Hawaiian. That is a lot of what my heritage and identity is. However, I am also very much my mother is Caucasian, German, French, Swedish, Russian, Irish, English, Danish, Hungarian. That is all part of my ancestry as well. And I think there's a bunch of other I did the Ancestry.com a year or two ago, and I also found out that in addition to being mostly Hawaiian and mostly German, I'm also Samoan and Tongan, Malaysian, and Thai. I feel like there's a whole bunch of things that I'm missing too, but needless to say, what it does make me realize is how much we are a culmination of all of our ancestors and how mixed we can be, how we can be from all these different regions all over the world and come out to be these very unique individuals. There are no other individuals like you. You are completely unique. Maybe your siblings share some of the same, maybe they share the same genetic disposition, but there's parts of you, there's parts of our ancestors, there's parts of our siblings. Like, for example, I'm a twin. My twin sister had straight black hair, and I think she got that from the Chinese, whereas I have light, kind of fluffy, well, I have dark hair, but for a Hawaiian, it's lighter, it's redder, it's kind of poofy and fluffy. And I was the dark-skinned one, and she was the light-skinned one, and we were twins, same mom, same dad, of course, but we just looked so different. And I ended up being taller and slimmer when we were younger, and she was shorter and stronger. So it's just very interesting how all of these things manifest within us. And again, relatives, if you care to share your ancestry, you are more than welcome to. We are here to celebrate who you are. We are here to honor our diversity, and we're here to explore that as part of our wellness and part of our reflection. There's a couple things that I wanted to do during this video. There is some amazing literature that I have with me, some books that I want to share with you, and I don't think I've shared them before. They are books that do honor nature and do look at our natural medicines. And also, too, I shared this earlier this week on our 8 a.m. post. This is no commercial. I'm just letting you know. I got this at the health food store. It's called Jake's Strong Ginger. I am a huge ginger consumer. I love ginger. I buy it organic. I buy it non-organic. I peel it. I slice it. I put it in my food. I put it in my tea. I make ginger tea on a regular basis. And when I found this, I was like, ooh, strong ginger. I'm curious to see how strong it is. But ginger is very, very good for the digestive system. And it's good to kind of warm and stimulate the body without caffeine. It's a good thing to drink in the morning. I drink it at night too. But this strong ginger is known for healing remedies. And this particular beverage has no sugar. It is purely just lemon and ginger. And it's a lot of both. Believe me, it tastes very potent. And they recommend it in a 4-ounce down the hatch method, which I will do that right now. I just so happen to have my little mug here. This is an old yogurt jar. Kept it. Very fancy to me. It's my favorite ginger drink jar. And I'll let you see it again. It almost has a creamy look to it, which makes it seem deceptively sweet. It is not. It is bitter. Much more bitter than ginger tea. Ginger tea has a sweetness about it. This does not. It has a fantastic aroma, though. It's almost like a lemon. It smells like lemonade, like spicy lemonade. So I'll let you know how it tastes. My son, he's 11. He would hate that. I like it, though, but it's super bitter. I think I should call him over here and test him and see. Hey, Kai. I don't think he can hear me. He's got his door closed. Anyways, that does help with my digestion. It's always good to have before or after a meal and to start the day off first thing in the morning. What I wanted to share with you were these two books. This first one I have here is called Braiding Sweetgrass, A Hymn of Love to the World. Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants by Robin Wall Kimmerer. I believe that when she wrote this book, she was living in Wisconsin. This is one of the most powerful books I have ever read. If you've ever heard of it and haven't read it, I highly, highly recommend it. It's a very peaceful book, and it really comes down to the heart of what our 4 p.m. Thursday posts are about. Culture and Aina. Aina in Olelo, Hawaii, or the native Hawaiian language, means land. And our connection to the land, especially as Indigenous people, is very, very important, in my opinion, to our wellness. I'm going to grab one thing. I'll be right back. I'm just around the corner here. Just sticking with you. I think I have it here. So yeah, here it is. So again, this book is called Braiding Sweetgrass. Here is a braid of sweetgrass right here. And how many of you have had sweetgrass before? Do you have a sweetgrass braid at home? It smells incredible. It almost has like an almond cherry amaretto smell to it. It's just beautiful. I love it. I'm going to read an excerpt about sweetgrass in the book, Braiding Sweetgrass. But I do want to say before I read that excerpt, something very interesting is sweetgrass is considered one of the, sacred medicines for Turtle Island relatives. And what's interesting about it is in Hawaii, where I was born and raised, half my life there, half my life here in Wisconsin, is that the fragrance of sweetgrass smells just like Miley. And that was my twin sister's name, Miley. And Miley and sweetgrass have the same smell, but they look very different. Miley is actually a vine, a leafy vine, but it smells the same. So it makes me think that they're related somehow. And also Miley is sacred to the native Hawaiians. So I just find that a really cool, just a very interesting thing about sweetgrass, is it has the same smell. I'm going to read this excerpt. Do feel free to comment if you have any questions or insights or feedback. Our stories say that of all the plants, Wingush, or sweetgrass, was the very first to grow on the earth. Its fragrance, a sweet memory of Sky Woman's hand. Accordingly, it is honored as one of the 4 sacred plants of my people. Breathe in its scent, and you start to remember things you didn't know you had forgotten. Our elders say that ceremonies are the way we remember to remember. And so sweetgrass is a powerful ceremonial plant cherished by many Indigenous nations. It is also used to make beautiful baskets, both medicine and a relative. Its value is both material and spiritual. There is such tenderness in braiding the hair of someone you love. Kindness and something more flow between the braider and the braided. The two connected by the cord of the plait. Wingush waves in strands, long and shining, like a woman's freshly washed hair. And so we say it is the flowing hair of Mother Earth. When we braid sweetgrass, we are braiding the hair of Mother Earth, showing her our loving attention, our care for her beauty and well-being, in gratitude for all she has given us. Children hearing the Sky Woman's story from birth know in their bones the responsibility that flows between humans and the earth. The story of Sky Woman's journey is so rich and glittering, it feels to me like a deep bowl of celestial blue from which I could drink again and again. It holds our beliefs, our history, our relationships. Looking into that starry bowl, I see images swirling so fluidly that the past and the present become as one. Images of Sky Woman speak not just of where we came from, but also how we can go forward. What I really love about the passage that I just read, what I love, love, love about it, is that it says that sweetgrass is not only a medicine, but it is also a relative. And that's so amazing to me. I find the connection in my own native Hawaiian culture, as we also feel that our sacred plants, our sacred ferns, the maile, that has the same fragrance as sweetgrass, is actually the embodiment of one of our goddesses. And we as Native Hawaiian people, our spiritual tradition is that we came from the gods and the goddesses, that we are blood related and descendants of the gods and goddesses. And if those sacred plants are also embodiments of gods and goddesses, then those sacred medicines are also our elders. I want to share another book with you, and a few things that I have with me. My sister gave me this beautiful gift of some of our natural herbs, and I wanted to share them with you. So look at this beautiful tray of herbs. Actually, I'll pull them out individually. And let's take a look at this one. Rosemary. Beautiful, 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 and so fragrant. And rosemary grows easily here in Wisconsin, right? Very plentifully. And I have this other book here that I'd like to share with you that goes along with the herbs that I want to show you. So this is Magic and Medicine of Plants. Why this book? This book simply because I found it at half price books for like $1.50 or something like that. And I love that it has illustrated pictures and descriptions. And it also has about rosemary. So I do want to tell you what I know about rosemary as well. So I love rosemary essential oils, and I also like rosemary in my food. I like to diffuse rosemary. It smells so good. Not only does it taste great and flavor foods in such an aromatic way, it's also very, very good for improving concentration and memory. And relatives, if you know anything about the herbs that I'm showing or any feedback or have any questions, do feel free to comment. Now, what is so cool about rosemary is I have it as an essential oil and I diffuse it in my oil diffuser. And one day I was cleaning my son's room and I was diffusing the rosemary and I was so energetic and my mind felt so clear and I just kept cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and I felt great. And it took me a while to make the connection that actually the aroma of the rosemary really helped pick up my mood. So I would say as a person, if you want to be motivated to start physically moving around, take a whiff of this. And it's very, very, very good for you. It's good for your mind and it's good for your mood. But again, I'm just going to read an excerpt of this book. History records that in ancient Greece, where rosemary was said to strengthen the memory. Oh, see? Students of the time wore sprigs of the herb in their hair while they studied. As a result of this reputation, rosemary became a symbol of remembrance. Over the century, brides wore it to show that they would always remember their families, and the dead were buried with it to signify that they would not be forgotten. Over the centuries, people found a host of benefits in the plant. According to one belief, rosemary could incapacitate a robber. Wow, this is really interesting, and it goes on and on. But rosemary was also prescribed in the 16th and 17th century apothecaries for the relief of intestinal gas and as a tonic and digestive aid. You know, this is a digestive aid, and this is a digestive aid. So it makes me want to put some sprigs of it in my beverage. And I'm going to do that once I finish reading this. They suggest different preparations of the plant for toothache, headache, gout, coughs, and even baldness. Yes, so rosemary is good. You can put the essential oils if you're having thinning hair or if you're having skin, dry scalp, or skin problems. Rosemary on the scalp is excellent, excellent, excellent. Rosemary has also been used as an antispasmodic. Long ago, cooks discovered rosemary's culinary properties. The leaves are a basic item in the modern herb rack and herb garden. So you can find it in mild and sunny regions. Yes, so rosemary. I am going to put a little bit of little sprig of it here in my, just take a couple sprigs. I'm going to kind of just, oh, I got ash between my fingernail. Okay, so I'm just going to rub a couple of sprigs to kind of activate the aromatics and get some of the oils out between my fingers. And I'm going to just drop it. Why not? So I'm going to put it in my beverage. Okay, so rosemary. Excellent herb. Here's another one I bet you can maybe recognize. Do you know what this one is? This is one of my absolute favorite herbs as far as the aroma. If you don't recognize it, it is thyme. Thyme. It smells so good to me. It's my favorite smell. It goes fantastic in meat dishes. It goes fantastic in pasta. It's an overall one of my favorites. I'm going to see if we have it in the book here. This book is actually, here it is. This book is actually in alphabetical order too, which is great. So, thyme. No cook worth her or his salt needs to be told what to do with thyme. Fresh or dried, alone or combined with parsley and bay leaves to make a bouquet garni. The herbs add a distinctive aromatic flavoring to sauces, stews, stuffings, meats, poultries, indeed to almost anything from soup to salad. In medieval times, the plant symbolized courage and to keep up their spirits. Knights departing for their crusades received scarves embroidered with a sprig of thyme from their ladies. There was a popular belief, too, that a leaf tea prevented nightmares, while others held that a tea made of thyme and other herbs enabled one to see nymphs and fairies. Herbalists of the Middle Ages regarded thyme as a stimulant and antispasmodic and recommended sleeping on thyme and inhaling it as a remedy for melancholy and epilepsy. So it's also, the essential oil is also a powerful disinfectant called thymol that is effective against bacteria and fungi. Thymol also acts as an expectorant, loosening phlegm in the respiratory tract so that it can be coughed up. Later herbals listed thyme for these uses and as a remedy for numerous other complaints, including diarrhea and fever. They prescribed the oil externally as an antiseptic for fungal infections such as athlete's foot. What I find so amazing about all of these plants and these herbs is they all have medicinal properties. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. It is a reminder that these things were put on earth for us. They were given to us by the creator or by the planet or the universe, or however you want to say it, spiritual or not spiritual, spiritual or scientific. However you want to look at it is okay. But either way that we look at these things, they really are of beneficial to our bodies and oftentimes our moods, um, and have connotations, very symbolic connotations as, for example, the rosemary they would put on their temples in ancient Greece for scholars. I want to show you one more herb before we go. I actually have a handful of herbs, but I'm just going to show you one last one. I think you'll definitely recognize this one. It is absolutely beautiful. It smells delicious. It smells like a pizza. And yes, it is basil. We have probably a total of 6 herbs in here, but this is the third one I'll show you and the last one for today, as long as they have basil in the book here, which I'm sure they do. Basil. This one right here. Many cooks would find it hard to do out with the leaves of basil. Spicy when fresh, sweeter when dried, yet this popular culinary herb has been alternately praised and excoriated during the course of herbal medical history. Some ancient herbalists asserted that basil damaged the eyes and caused insanity, coma, and the spontaneous generation of worms, lice, and scorpions. Interesting past fact of what they thought may happen with basil. But subsequent writers argued that basil did none of these things, but was good both as a condiment and for a variety of medicinal purposes. And actually, these opposing viewpoints were argued in herbal medicine throughout the centuries. The first century AD, Roman naturalist Pliny, siding with the defenders, reported that basil relieves flatulence, and this claim is upheld by modern pharmacology. Um, let's see, I'm just looking if there's uses. Okay, down to the present day, herbalists have recommended tea made from the leaves of the basil plant for nausea, for gas pains, and dysentery. Basil's effectiveness as a carminative, a substance that relieves gas, has been established, and research shows that extracts of the plant inhibit organisms that can cause dysentery. Tea made with basil and peppercorns is a folk remedy reputed to reduce fever. A popular culinary herb, basil is easy to grow and to dry. So there we have it, these 3 beautiful herbs, things that we can incorporate in our food. You know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to take those 3 herbs that I showed us. I am going to chop them up fine, and I'm going to toss them into some lemon, garlic, olive oil, butter pasta, and that's what we will have for dinner. And I also have some patty pan squash from the farmer's market that I can't wait. So we have these 3 beautiful herbs, basil, thyme, rosemary, all with their own very distinctive benefits for the body, distinctive flavors and aroma. I wish we were cooking pasta together. Before we go, I would like to say mahalo nui loa. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Malama pono I ko kino. Take good care of your body. Aloha nui, everybody. Big love. And ahui ho akuno. We'll see you later in Hawaii. When we say cheers, it's more like o kole maluna, bottoms up, to my elixir of ginger tea, lemon, and rosemary. Aloha, everyone.